Good morning and welcome back to the Red Mic. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Happy Monday. This is actually my second time. This is actually my second try to do this today. The first time, for some reason, the mic was very, very loud and scorched sounding, so I deleted it completely and I'm starting over. So, these Red Mic messages are leadership and life lessons I picked up from 25 years as a public servant, 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting volunteer, and 10 years as a mediocre athlete with far more heart than actual physical ability. Today's Red Mike message, leading from behind. It's actually a lesson I got from scouting. A friend of mine, a guy named Jerry, I'm not going to give you his last name because he didn't sign up for this. He reminded me of it the other day. He was reading one of my transcripts. I've started putting transcripts mainly on LinkedIn, but uh, other platforms as well. And what I do is I go on YouTube, I copy the transcript because my notes are pequeño. Um, and then I plug it into Chat GTP and say, hey, remove the timestamps and uhs and ums. And I also have them remove the word right because I say right a lot. Like I'm talking about this, right? Yeah. So anyway, the thing about being a scout leader, I say 16 years as a youth football coach and scouting leader. Really, I was only a scouting leader for about 12 years, and I apologize for Tucker. He he's a jerk. We tried to calm him down. He just won't. He barks at every time the wind blows. So, yeah, I was only a scout leader for about 12 years. Started when my oldest was a Tiger Scout, which Tiger Scouting, if you don't know, starts in first grade. Then they go all the way up through Eagle. Now, you can finish Eagle early. I mean, there's some Eagles that are like 14 years old, 14, 15 years old. The only rule is you have to finish it before you turn 18. Now, there's a gray area there because you can technically finish everything that you have to do except your what they call your board of review. Well, as long as you finish everything you have to do but that board of review, you're good, right? But if you hit 18 and you hadn't done everything leading up to the board of review, you're not going to be Eagle. So my oldest got it. My younger one, let's just say sports got in the way. Unlike his dad, it wasn't the fumes. It was part of the fumes. It was exhaust fume. It was perfume. Or no, it wasn't even the fumes for him. There's there's two things that derail a scout. We call them the fumes, perfumes and exhaust fumes. That was my issue. I wanted a car and I wanted to date, and going to meetings and going to events was not in it for me anymore. The younger one, sports got in the way for him. Anyway, I digress. Leading from behind. Jerry reminded me, in scouting, one of the things you do is whether you're on a hike or a backpacking trip, and I don't like backpacking, so I didn't go to Philmont. I did go to Northern Tier, which is a canoe thing, right? Um, a lot of ums to remove today. It's leading from behind. And what do I mean by that? Well, you're in the back of the group. Everybody is in front of you. You're not barking orders. You're watching. You're observing. You're guiding when you need to, protecting when you have to, and most importantly, you're letting everybody learn. It's not always easy for everybody. Particularly, you don't do a lot of leading from behind, and Tiger Scouts, you're way out front. You're doing everything for them. But as you get older in scouting, you you lead from behind more and more and more. You let them figure out when to lead, when to follow, and how to find their own rhythm. Nature, there's examples of this in nature. A wolf pack going through the wilderness, they don't put their strongest at the front. They put their weakest and their youngest at the front because they're the ones that are going to be going slower. They set the pace. The strongest wolves stay at the back, keeping watch, making sure that no one falls behind, and to make sure that they're ready to act if danger strikes. Sorry, excuse me. By the way, Red Mike Messages Tumblr. Pretty snazzy, huh? I like it. By being at the back of the pack, they're allowed to see the entire playing field. The goal is to make sure that no one falls behind. You're there in case danger strikes, and to get everybody there safely together. Now, when I ran a small state agency, I often used this hockey metaphor. I'm the goalie, and what I mean by that, if the puck, the work, got to me, it was either really bad or really urgent or really, really important, and it needed my eyes and hands on it. Otherwise, I let my team do their jobs. I stayed out of the way. Puck came to me, I knocked it back into play. That's leading from behind. You don't have to micromanage. You don't have to control every play, every job, every duty. And yes, I said duty. Thank you, Chandler Bing. Trust your people and step in only when you have to, only when it really, really is, by golly, important. So, in a business setting, too often bosses and leaders think they need to be out front. They need to be charging. They need to be making the most noise. They need to be setting the pace and leading and moving. Yeah, well, I think that the best leaders understand the power of positioning themselves where they can see the whole picture. Setting that steady pace, making room for others to grow, and only stepping in when you have to. Protecting your team's time, their focus, and their energy. Now, it doesn't mean taking a back seat either. It means knowing when to step up and when to step back. It's about creating that environment where leadership is kind of shared, really. And the team learns to trust itself. They learn to lead on their own. They learn how to follow. They're going to trust themselves, and they're going to know that success is not getting to the finish line first. It's about making sure the entire team gets there at the same time. And that's today's Red Mike message. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you will give me a like, a follow, and a share, no matter where you are viewing this, whether it's one of the video versions or one of the audio versions. I would really appreciate, again, like, follow, and a share. I'll see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, life is short. Drink the bourbon.